Most merchants running the Altus Premier loyalty and gift card solution are utilizing an EMS 8800 terminal for activating cards, running transactions, and doing account balance lookups. But did you know that included with every Altus Premier solution are 3 web-based tools that greatly enhance the value of this solution to EMS merchants? Tool 1 is a customer-facing tool called whatsmycardbalance.com. It is a shared registration portal that allows a merchant's participating cardholders to go online and register their cards so they can have access to check balances and look for earned rewards. The benefit to the merchant is they capture some valuable demographic information and contact information about their customers. Tool number 2 is the web terminal. The Altus Premier web terminal allows merchants to utilize a web browser on their computer to process transactions, both gift, loyalty transactions. It allows the printing of receipts as well as the activation of single cards or a range of cards. Tool number 3 is the Altus Premier web portal. The web portal is really the workhorse for the merchant. It contains all of the transaction history that can be sliced and diced however the merchant desires with the built-in reporting functionality. And there are even some built-in marketing tools, text messaging system, and an email messaging system that allows a merchant to target out communications to their registered cardholders. WhatsMyCardBalance.com is the merchant's cardholder registration site. WhatsMyCardBalance.com can be linked directly into a merchant's existing site, or merchants can direct cardholders to WhatsMyCardBalance.com to register their gift cards or loyalty cards. Both participating cardholders and merchants benefit from this tool. Cardholders, once they register, have access to points balances and earned rewards, as well as transaction by transaction detail, but merchants capture the valuable contact information for their cardholders. It immediately, once registered, that data is linked into the web portal to all of their transaction history. To register a card, you simply click Register and provide some minimal information and click Register Account. If the card is already registered, the cardholder simply puts in their email address and their pre-created password. Displayed to the screen will be the cards that have been registered under that account. Click into the card number, and to the screen will be displayed any currency that has been rewarded or earned on the card, their current point balance, as well as transaction by transaction detail showing visits, transactions, rewards earned, and rewards redeemed. And just to reiterate, that contact information that was supplied by the cardholder is available now to the merchant tied to their transaction activity. And when we get to the web portal, you'll see the marketing tools of text messaging and email messaging that really adds value to this demographic information that's been captured. The Altus Premier web terminal can be utilized in many ways, but most frequently we see installations where the merchant is running a Windows-based point-of-sale application and they also want to take gift cards or loyalty cards, or both. So on the screen you see a typical point-of-sale based application where the clerk has finished ringing up the sale. Utilizing the EMS Altus Premier web terminal, what the clerk does is simply Alt-Tab. That will bring up the Altus Premier web terminal to the forefront, ready to take a card swipe as well as a key enter of the amount. So the clerk would swipe the card at this point. That swipe can be through the existing card swipe device built into their PC register system. Enter the amount of the transaction that's displayed in the point of sale, then click Go. This will result in a receipt being generated in its own separate window for that transaction, showing what occurred, the amount of points added, any cash value on that card, as well as their current points balance. They can print that receipt out if they desire. It would print out to the receipt printer that's part of their point of sale PC system, or they can close up the window and proceed on. Also in the window, that cash balance that is on the card, whether it's a reward or whether it's a gift card, is displayed, as well as the current point balance on that card, just as you saw on the receipt. So really that's it to running the web terminal in a point of sale environment. The Altus Premier Web Portal is the merchant's administrative interface to transaction detail, cardholder demographic information, reporting, terminals enabled on the system, employee access rights. Just a whole host of information can be monitored and administered through the Altus Premier Web Portal. From the main screen, the merchant has access to reporting under transaction reporting. We'll pop back into that in detail. Terminals that are enabled on the system, whether they're web terminals or physical terminals. Custom fields. Custom fields can be created, and these fields flow through to whatsmycardbalance.com, allowing the capture of an additional data upon registration by cardholders of their loyalty or gift cards. Employees, where merchants can set permissions as far as employee roles versus capabilities of what they have access to in the system, and the various card sets that have been ordered and programs that they have running. Transaction reporting. From transaction reporting, a merchant can enter in a single card number and pull a report on all activity on that card, and it will display below in a format that allows them to see totals as well as transaction by transaction detail. Or the merchant can pull a full report across all cards. There's some pre-formatted date range reports that they could opt for, or from the next screen, as you'll see, they'll be able to put in a specific date select. So let's pick last month, and to the screen is a report of December 1st through December 31st, all transaction detail spelled out. The information, you will note, can be downloaded as a CSV file so that they can import it into Excel and manipulate it in other ways that they might have a desire to do. There are totals at the top. They can even go in and add additional data elements to the report below. Let's add a name and let's add an email address and click Go. Now let's scroll down. And you will see that any cards that had an associated email address or customer name are now included in the report. The Altus Premier Web Portal also gives access to some valuable marketing tools. SMS text messaging and email messaging are included with Altus Premier. To send a text message, the merchant simply selects SMS broadcasts. It will show them the previous text messages that went out, or they can actually create a new SMS broadcast. Put in a broadcast name to identify the campaign so that they can look at that message next time, and type in the message that they want to send. Once the message is created, they're able to click Preview to take a look at the message before sending, and click Send, and this will send this message out across all of the cardholders that were selected for this broadcast. Similar functionality exists for email marketing. You're able to send an email broadcast by creating the broadcast name, just as with text messaging, entering in the message, and sending out to the recipients. So as you can see, the Altus Premier Portal is a full-featured administrative interface that gives merchants complete control over their gift and loyalty program.